The Old Town Hall, located on the corner of Delaware and 2nd Street, was built in 1823. The three-story structure is almost exactly in its original form, with its steep four-sided roof, white-railed deck, octagonal cupola, and weather vane. Over the Old Town Hall's history, it has served as a firehouse and federal court building, while today it is home to the local Newcastle Town newspaper and town offices, including those of the trustees of Newcastle Common. The great arched walkway, or arcade, that passes through the center of the building was originally the entrance to a wooden market house that formerly sat on the brick square that remains behind the building. The large arcade allowed farmers to bring their wagons full of produce into the market house for miles around. A public market was established on the narrow strip of land between Market and 2nd Streets in the second half of the 18th century. The earliest markets probably did not require a permanent structure, with each participant setting up a booth on specific days and probably closing Market Street to traffic. References exist from a visitor in 1759 that a market house existed by that time, and on June 13, 1772, an act of the Delaware Assembly shows that the land between Market and 2nd Streets was owned and managed by the market trustees for the public good. While the market house continued to function into the 1880s, photographic evidence suggests that it was torn down around 1890. By that time, distribution of food had changed, and the town was no longer dependent on the seasonal farmer. Fresh food came from New Jersey, and by railroad from as far away as Florida. Wholesalers could provide shops with food at cheaper prices than the market. The trustees of Newcastle Common were established in 1764 and are in charge of managing the endowment of land set aside for a common for the townspeople of Newcastle back in the days of William Penn. The original endowment of land where townspeople were free to cut wood and pasture livestock was described in 1760 as a tract
containing 1,068 acres situated on the northwest side of the town of Newcastle, which has laid in common for the use of the inhabitants of the said town, and has been constantly enjoyed as such upwards of 100 years.
The trustees of the Common were established in November of 1764, when William Penn's sons, Thomas and Richard Penn, then the proprietors of the land endowment, granted the land of the Common in perpetual trust to such men of Newcastle as would care for the property and administer it in the interest of the townspeople. Among the original 13 trustees were John Finney, Richard McWilliam, David Finney, George Reed, and Zechariah Van Leuvenai. The organization has continued much in its same role into the present, though its members now serve for 12 years rather than life.